Maybe somebody can look that up for me, like PayPal. Look it up on Wikipedia. One, two, three, four, five. See, it was PayPal. No, I'm pretty sure Elon Musk also was. It merged with Elon Musk's company. Oh, that's right. They bought Musk's company. Elon Musk. Musk also was there, right? I'm looking it up on Wikipedia, by the way. Yeah, no, Zip2. So he made the technology and merged with Confinity, and then it became PayPal. Yeah, so he was the other half. Let me Zip2, web software company with money raised from a small group of angel investors. X.com, a money transfer PayPal, blah 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 blah, viral marketing campaign. Right. Anyway, let me just get back to punching dirt. Where's this going? Oh, this is going the wrong way. That should be that, and then forward there. I'm not sure if stability is... Okay, most of the time stability is important. But sometimes there are upheavals, and there's really not much you can do to avoid it. You know, like the Industrial Revolution was Theo being the only tech leader who supports Trump. Theo got New Zealand citizenship, so he actually has a way out. I think I know what Theo is doing. I think Theo actually intends to make a lot of money while Trump is in power, with the expectation that the American economy and perhaps the American society will collapse afterwards. Theo bought his way into a New Zealand citizenship. Like, he just invested a lot of money here, and the government fast-tracked his citizenship application. So I think he just intends to make a lot of money while Trump is in office, and then when the economy crashes, he just intends to bugger off and come to New Zealand with all the money. It seems like that's his plan. I mean, I don't know why else he would get a New Zealand citizenship. One, two, three, four, five. I mean, if I were unscrupulous and greedy and a really rich person, I might do the same thing. In terms of morality, I can't really argue for it. In terms of just money making, I think it's a pretty good plan. I mean, it's not a nice thing to do, but quite possibly a profitable thing to do. I was saying the Industrial Revolution, I mean, a lot of the old monarchies fell around that time. Again, like, you know, when technology changes, society also changes with it, and then the old government starts falling down if they don't change fast enough. I mean, some of the monarchies became constitutional monarchies, and I guess the kings and queens got to stay with at least a symbolic title. The others just got guillotined and killed and removed that way. You know, so the governments that, you know, try to maintain stable societies, at some point you still have to change, otherwise you get overrun by the changes around you. Oops. I mean, maybe he doesn't. Maybe Theo doesn't really know that the American economy is gonna destroy itself, but he does have a backup plan. I can tell you that much. If things go wrong, he does have New Zealand citizenship. That much we know. One, two, three, four, five. Which I wonder what the other rich people in America are doing. Like, does everyone have a backup plan? What if Trump really does destroy the economy? It's possible. I mean, people talk about moving to Canada, but you still have to be prepared. I mean, Canada's not necessarily gonna take you. Alright, so 3 that way? 1, 2, 3 that way. So, yeah, Sofa says stock markets are doing very well in the US at the moment. Definitely. Definitely. I mean, I have investments too. My investments are doing well too. But the stock market can turn really quickly. So the stock market is not really an expectation of long-term growth. The stock market can just be a predictor of, you know, growth in the next few months. So the stock market's doing well now is no guarantee that people expect the economy to do well 2 years from now, for example. I mean, the stock market is doing great now because everyone is trying to cash in on the giant tax cuts that Trump is giving to the corporations. But yeah, like, stocks are really liquid. Stocks are liquid, and so they can turn really fast. Alright, so now we are here. If I remember right, it's gold on the right and iron on the left, right? I can always just run back to the other side. Alright, let's run back to the other side. Gold this side, iron the other side. I'm pretty sure. Also, I should check if I lag. Looking it up, says Sofa, the OECD says the economic expansion is projected to continue in 2018 and 2019. Yeah, while Trump is in office. You know, when George W. Bush was in office, the economy went pretty well until the last year, and then it crashed. So they timed it. They timed it so that his own presidency was fine, and then it crashed, and then he passed it to Obama. So this sort of stuff, like when you have power and money, you can manipulate when things crash. It's quite possible that the economy is going to be fine for 3.5 years, and then the last half year of Trump's first term is going to be disastrous. It could well be that. Yeah, but that was Clinton's fault for repealing the act that restrains the banks and their mortgage stuff. No, but yeah, Clinton's, I mean, obviously, like a lot of presidents do stuff like that. But the thing is, you know, the people who are, like the people who were working with Bush, they would, you know, like the Clintons set it up, and then they would profit during Bush's term, and then at the end of Bush's 2 terms, they would reveal all the bad stuff that was actually underneath, and so then there was the subprime mortgage crisis. So the subprime mortgage crisis was building up throughout Bush's term. So the Clintons set it up, and then during Bush's presidency, it was building up and building up and building up, and then at the end of his presidency, it exploded, right? I guess partly on the expectation that the new president might have to do something to rein it in. And there is always the temptation to, like, whatever bad stuff you want to do it just before you leave. I mean, if you're stuck here for 4 years, you don't want to make things bad on the first year. You'd like, you play it cool, make your money, keep quiet, and then at the end, right before your term is up, then you do the whatever bad thing you intend to do, and you explode the economy, and then you take your money and leave. So I mean, that's not surprising at all. And even on that note, like Clinton repealed he deregulated the banks also near the end of his term, right? If I remember right. He didn't deregulate them at the very start. Which is kind of disastrous, really. I mean, if every president at the end of their term leaves a time bomb for the next guy to deal with, you can imagine how things are just going to get worse and worse over time. Ah, what did Obama do at the end of his term? I don't remember him doing anything disastrous at the end of his term. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I think, on the diagonal. Let me double check. Diagonal, diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the diagonal, okay. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. But eventually you can't rig things anymore. I mean, it might have to get pretty bad before that happens. I mean, as we were talking about earlier, the Industrial Revolution eventually led to revolutions. Like, we're just not sure how far things have to go before things break, right? How far can you push the current economy before it breaks? Not sure. But they're pushing. I didn't mean to break that glowstone, put that there. Also, like Trump's small-mindedness is it's probably gonna do some real damage. I mean, just recently recent news is that he called African countries shithole countries. I mean, oh man, how undiplomatic can you possibly be? I mean, I appreciate him saying what he means, but seriously. Unfortunately, the alternative to American power is Chinese power, and the Chinese aren't actually that much better, although they are slightly more smooth about maintaining appearances and not calling people shithole countries. I don't know. So if let's talk about survival strategies. If the world economy does collapse, what skills will be useful? Like farming. Farming will be useful. Grow your own food. Maybe we should learn that before the economy tanks. Like first aid, I guess. I mean, doctoring will be useful, although trades, I guess, you know, like plumbing, electrical work. It's quite possible that if the economy tanks... No, actually no, I was gonna say that it would mostly hurt the investors and not hurt the other people so much. But that's not how it is it? It always hurts everyone else as well if the economy tanks. We're going into the hill here. I guess we can just keep going. Don't think we need to change anything here. And places like Florida ban government officials from using phrases like climate change. Like you hear them complain about, like they're just not, like their employment agreement requires them not to use the words climate change in any of their communication. That's so stupid. Like, how can, I mean, what's that supposed to do? It's so ridiculous. And Florida is sinking too. Like it's like the Florida geology is hi. Fishkey? Hi Fishkey. Florida has porous rocks, and so the water just comes into the rocks. Alright, Silver. Hi, welcome back. I was musing on places like Florida banning government officials from using the words climate change because they don't want to talk about climate change.